Okay. So what do we have in the plane? My assumption is just more scrap bits and food. Extra food is welcome. That really skunked him. He did not like that. I just rolled immediately and he's like, whoop, I lost him. The AI gets a little funky. Okay, so yeah, loads of resources all over the place. Let's actually start grabbing these and bringing them back. We are going to be loaded. Okay, looks like we've got another way up, so I'm gonna just take this one. I won't be able to take my... Oh, the crash. Oh, that makes sense. I won't be able to take my... Ooh, one guardian. It probably is one of the big guys. Okay, I gotta stop looting things. We've got to clear this place first. I guess that's it right there. I bet it's one of the big dudes. Okay, so I'm a little on the cold side. We're just gonna rest and heal and do what we can. I think we've heard that one before. A lot of times. Okay. So I'm pretty warm. Oh, that's just one of these guys. I can't imagine this guy's the guardian. But I'm assuming it's one of the big brawlers. Which means I'm actually gonna have to learn how to fight in this game. Which is a little worrying because I'm real bad at it. I mean, maybe I'm not actually that bad at it, but it feels like I am. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna quickly bail from this. I think we have some extra healing items that are just sitting around in my inventory. Yeah, I'm just gonna set that as number 1. Probably not the most useful, but if I'm gonna have to fight something, I like to sort of be prepared. Not much I could be prepared with. I was hoping I could grab like 1 or 2 more of the big healing balms, but well. Okay. My best interest to just more or less scum him. Oh, balls. Okay. So, we found Suckbad. Stop! Mother... freaking... Alright. Okay. So I can't really parry that. No! 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 No, 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 no! No! Don't. Don't. Pull your bow out! It's dead. It's dead. For the record, that wasn't a very fun boss fight. How shitty would that have been if he started dropping trash on me and a blizzard had happened in the middle of that? Hey, thank you, Crystalon, for the 5 celebratory subs to Signatory Rhyme, Pulsar Knight, Simon B, Dragonus the Black, and Merc DVR. Is easier than a crusher. I figured as much. Like, he had a very definitive weak point and I could cheese him. You can't range cheese a crusher, which is obnoxious. But, like... Okay. I think we only have 2 strongholds left. That's good, at least. Oh, good. And we got 2 boons for that one. Well, that's good as well. It did start just before I ran away. No, that's fair. Oh, that's a nice amount of resources. But no, the main problem is this game demands, like, Dark Souls level of, like, gameplay, but does not actually have Dark Souls level of, well, game. And so it makes situations like that kind of frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Well, we did okay. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of goodies out here. I guess let's grab the fire arrows and the explosive arrows. I might use them to cheese a fight later. We had to fight him in the arena. There would have been floaty cars bouncing up and down. Wait, really? Like there's a boss arena you're supposed to fight him in? Because, like, he just showed up in the alleyway. Like, I didn't really get much of a choice there. It was just like, well, here he is. Okay. So let's assign a worker. Which is pretty much just Jin. Oh. Whenever Jin is done sleeping. He'll be done shortly enough. Okay, well, let's go up. I'm just gonna be running around my somehow warm in the middle of a blizzard place. Oh, it's Tua.
With the cult, it was like having a family again. I had things to do, to keep going, stay busy. I didn't pay much attention to the other stuff, because I believed everything the priestess said. We were going to make the world a better place. Be a clan anybody could join. Young, old, sick, healthy. The priestess. She said that we could serve the Trash Moon. We could be its ally. If we did what it wanted us to do. Most of the time, it was okay with the cult. We were surviving. And I tried to keep them safe because they said I was family. That they needed me. Maybe they thought I was too dumb to notice. But I started seeing things I didn't like. People started getting hurt. I can't talk about it anymore.
Okay. So how is our town doing supply-wise? We're still running low, but it's not as bad. Did Vic at least finish our stuff? Because I'd also like to get better armor. But I think that requires a little bit more than I've got. Alright. Let's also put these away. Okay. Yep, there's level 2 pickaxe. Let's see. Anything else I immediately want to work on? How many pristine remains do we have? We only have 4, so I'm not going to pull Ghani on anything else. Can I show off the Trash Moon? It's that thing over there. It's kind of easy to see. Kinda? I don't know. You know, it'd be real nice if stuff like Nourishing Remains would actually, or Nourishing Shards would increase the efficiency of like firewood and food on my followers as well. I don't think it does, which is a bit of a shame, because it'd be really cool if you get enough of those, they actually just don't eat much. Period. Man, we do not have a whole lot of revitalizing or quickening shards. It's mostly nourishing and warmth. Okay, so I have 5 of these. How many would you need for a full set? 6, 9, 10... About... Is it 10 or... No, it's 17. I think it is. Would take a while. Okay, well, let's... assign Jin. Who's sleeping? Were you sleeping just a moment ago? Oh, he's still asleep. I'm gonna just have Jin work on this. I don't even know whose house this is. Because, yeah, the sooner we get these done, the better. Let's see.
Vic's a good fighter. Saved me from a spitter the other day. Nice to know she has my back.
Well, at least we have an insane amount of tainted wood sitting around, so he can pretty much just process it forever. What about these? So she's working on the copper sword. We still need leather before we can get any of the rest. I knew where to get purified end. Ooh. You know, actually, it might be faster to just go find ingots. How tired was Vic? Because I might have just screwed that over. Oh, Vic is very tired. I really wish adding things to the queue wouldn't immediately pull them out of it. Okay, let's heal up a little bit. And then let's go back here. We've got a lot of resources just sitting around that I can grab. And start throwing in. Because mostly I've been focused on exploration and clearing. And I actually haven't been particularly helpful at restocking. I've been helpful enough. But, like, there's tons of containers all over the place here that I can start grabbing. After the Circle of Torment runs out of lives, you restart with whatever boons you've acquired so far. Out of curiosity, oh, it's the same thing. So, I notice I currently at +8 warming shards. Does the shard count get reset? Like, could I eventually get it up to +18, +20, +30? Like, is there an upper limit on that? On the amount of shards that you can stack on. Answering a question in chat. It's always nice for information. This game is mildly arcane on me, because they either could have, like, a bunch of really cool mechanics, or it could just be kind of shitty. So shards are permanent. Okay, so everything caps out at +10. Nothing more than. Because I was kind of hoping I could get up to, like, +30 warming shards. And just walk around as, like, some indomitable warm man. Oh, they have a max amount, but you're not sure what it caps at. So, I could be an indomitable warm man. There's something gorgeous about the snow. Yeah, they did a good job visually with the environments in this game. It's a bit of a shame that it's all just the same snow. Whoops. Oh, wait, no, that's just him talking. But yeah, the weather effects, I think, are probably... not even arguably, indubitably, the best part of this game. The most well-made part? I don't know. Like, the gameplay is clunky, the writing is, The characters themselves look kind of garbagey, but it's really cool looking at the snow accumulate. Like, the dynamic weather in this feels really nice. Especially for, like, just a... I'm not gonna say a no-name indie game studio, but, like, these people went from Bubsy to this. Or actually, no. They made Bubsy while they were making this. But still, these are the people that made the most recent Bubsy game. Like, I'll give credit where credit is due. They phoned that in so they could at least make this, and it looks nice. Like, couple more years, and, like, maybe some more funding, and, like, a tighter game idea, I think, in the future, you could actually have some, like, pretty sweet games on your hands. At least something to compete with Elex.
You have no need for these metal contraptions. Climb up, scale it. I dare
Huh. They got it bought out by THQ Nordic in 2017, so hopefully that means more money. THQ Nordic is... I'm glad it exists. I was so sad when THQ shut down. And it's such a comfort to me to see that it didn't die after all. Because, like, that was probably my favorite publisher from the 2000s era. It was the one that, like, felt like such a shame that it got shut down in the end. Dag nabbit again. Okay. You can go further up. Let's see. Can I? Oh, yeah. There you go. A lot of their games were really great mid-tier games. Oh, yeah, we can go all the way up to that thing. Yeah. Like, I think one thing I've realized over the past couple of years... Oh, hey, thank you, Giotto Arts, for the raid, and welcome. We were discussing THQ, where we wander around cold and mildly frustrated at the last boss fight. Let's see. But one thing I've kind of realized lately is how little interest I actually have in really big games. Like, I played Days Gone the other day for quite a while, and I enjoyed it, but I'm not actually sure if I enjoyed it more or less than this. And, like, it feels like they went through all this, like, trouble to make this, like, really big, you know, expensive, complicated game. But I might have just been satisfied with, like, half of it and more focus or something like that. And anytime I play, like, a really big, expensive game that, like, was ever stuck in development hell, which seems to be a rising amount. Ooh. There's some stuff there. Like... half of them feel very scatterbrained, maybe? And, like, unfinished and disappointing, maybe? The one I can think of, the one AAA... no, there are a couple of AAA games that really have stood out to me in the past a couple of years. Specifically, God of War 3. Or not 3. God of War 4 or 5, kind of depending. Hello. Actual cutscene. Oh, he doesn't look so good from that close.
Dad, what's that? Over there? Oh my god. A tsunami. We're not gonna...
Rachel! Allie, the ship can handle this wave, but here, take this rope. Let's tie ourselves together. I don't want either of you to get washed overboard.
But that wave is huge! Even taller than a house! Are you sure we'll be okay? What if the ship can't...
The captain's taking the wave at the right angle. We'll make it. I promise.
It's too high!
Hold on!
I can't!
Gotcha! Hang on, Allie! We're almost over the top!
No! We're falling! David, we're... Ah!
Well, these are some goodies. Convulsing Viscera. Quickening Shards. Flame of Hope. Okay, let's use this. Oh, so I can just teleport from the cargo ship. Looks like it keeps going up further, too. Well, let's grab what I can first. Yeah, so main character is David Ash? Probably. Or maybe he just calls himself Ash now. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, God of War and Spider-Man stood out really hard as, like, really solid AAA games. But other than that, like, most major things that everybody's been really looking forward to, yeah, hasn't really, like, stood out to me that much. Like, I'm actually kind of worried about Borderlands 3. It'll probably be fine, but, like, every time I hear about it, I just get kind of this, like, feeling. I'll play the heck out of it. But, like, I think a lot of it has to do with, Randy Pitchford, is it? Whatever the, like, main director guy. He bothers me a lot. I don't like him. He gives me that really creepy feeling of somebody that probably shouldn't be in charge of the studio, because he's gonna take it in weird, bad places. He makes me think of... not Molyneux. Oh, Toy for Alice. Sweet. He reminds me of the director, or whatever guy from Stardock. That guy is a creep. I don't like him either. And it's like, I get that... Did I... oh, I see. I came up this way. Okay, well, you should probably warp from people. I paid people to draw porn of Battleborn and got pissed at one artist because they said no. What? Wow. That... That, well, we just teleported somewhere. I think we just teleported to exactly where we were. Yeah. Okay, so we might as well just warp back here. We also have stuff on the dog sled. It's a shame because Stardock looks really good. It's hard to stomach supporting a game with a person leading it. You might be thinking of a different thing. Stardock is a studio, not a, Oh, we need more lumber. Stardock is the studio that made, like, Sins of a Solar Empire and stuff. Okay, so we have some leather. Pristine wood into carved wood, no. Pristine wood into lumber. Might as well have him make a little bit of leather and some other things. I don't know. I
carried my little brother on my back near the end. Before he used to ask me if I was scared. I always said no.
Allie, we have someone new in the camp. Just came in from the wild. She goes by Vic.
I saw her in the fringes of the camp, alone. I don't think Vic likes being around other people much.
Well, I've got 7 extra lives. That's actually a really good sign. Let's see. Okay, that's a decent amount of...
Allie, we have someone new in the camp.
Oh.
Just came in from the wild. He's called Tua.
Tua doesn't say much, but he's always building new things.
I don't know, Tua seemed pretty chatty to me, or at least just as chatty as literally everyone else. Oh, did our sword get finished? Nope. What is she working on? Wait, she's built... She's building a hut? I mean, that's mostly okay. But, like... Finish my goddamn sword! Like, I haven't even given her new directions, and she's just like, gonna go build a house. And I'm like, what? Since when? Let's see. Can you make stuff yourself? No. It's part of the frustration. That's why I'm particularly indignant about these things, is I can't. I don't care who's the head of the studio, just make a good game. I care a lot. I care about these things a lot, because I think that attitude has actually led the games industry in a really bad direction. Oh, we've got to get everything out of the dog sled. Not caring who leads studios is how we end up with stuff like Diablo Immortal. Because I feel like there's a lot of game studio heads recently that lack the humility of failure. Admittedly, I missed what Clefspear was saying. I think it was Clefspear that was talking about this. But, he was talking about how, like, indie studios have that price of failure hanging over their heads. And, what? Oh, wait, no. That worked out. Okay, that's good. You have that price of failure hanging over your head, so you can't, like, screw around that much. You know, there's a reason why, Phil Fish doesn't make games anymore. Because, you know, he became a bit of a pariah because he more or less pulled a Pitchford and started, like, just, like, being awful to people online. And I realized that, like, yeah, that's not exactly, you know, that's not a reason to, like, get kicked out of the games industry or become, like, reviled or anything like that. But, like, at the same time, the dude was very, like, very clearly just, like, going off on anybody that offended him. And I feel like that's too much. Twitter was a mistake, yeah. But so, like, because a lot of these, like, studio execs have been around for too long, and for the most part are kept up by their fairly bloated fan bases, you get a lot of people that, yeah, Randy Pitchford just yelling at people on Twitter instead of, like, Cory Barlog, that is straight up, probably one of the most humble people I've ever seen in the games industry. And, you know, maybe Barlog will have a fall from grace as well. I don't know. But, like, there's such a massive difference in you know, what I saw from the creation of God of War to the creation of Borderlands or League of Legends or whatever. And it makes me uncomfortable to watch. And I realize that, like, this is how you end up with year-long crunches and firing half your employees after a project is done. That's super common in the industry, that, like, a game will get finished and then they lay off almost everybody because they had hired so many extra people to get the game finished on time. And, you know, as a result... How the hell am I going to get up there? There's a shard, though, so I want to grab it. As a result, I feel like the studio itself loses some of its heart every single time that happens. And eventually, that's how you get EA. And Activision and stuff. And even Blizzard to some degree. Blizzard was straight up, like, the game, like, gamers' darling forever. And straight up, like, at this point, I'm not sure if I will play another Blizzard game for quite a while. As shareholders are calling the shots. Yeah, I think that is part of it. Shareholders are terrifying for a lot of reasons. And I like the fact that almost every indie studio has no shareholders, period. Because they can't. Nobody would invest in them most of the time. Maybe a publisher would, but that's about it. Aren't Blizzard and Activision the same company now? They used to be more spaced out, but in recent memory they have become considerably less individualistic. Namely with a lot of, like, ex-Blizzard, like, founders leaving the company to make their own things. Because I think part of it, especially with Blizzard, is it's a studio that's been around for almost 30 years now that really hit their stride fairly early, and instead of, like, becoming some giant conglomerate thing, they really stuck to their guns and just kept on a couple of products forever. Which I can respect, but I think a lot of their, like, main developers, like the original ones, got bored of it and went off to form, like, Runic and a bunch of other things. Like, I cannot tell you how many games I've played that, like, were advertised as ex-Blizzard devs or ex-Blizzard founders or something like that. And, you know, I've personally, what the... Where the hell am I? Well... I'm here. Like, what's that game? There's It Lurks Below. There's the whole Torchlight series. There's just like a massive list of games. I think Vigil was ex-Blizzard. I want to say Vigil is ex-Blizzard. Top of the bridge I rested at. Oh! Oh, on the other side. I got it. I was just super confused because I've never been here before, and I was like, there's a nest in front of me, but I haven't been in this area. So if a good game comes out that did the year-long crunch, we shouldn't play it because the CEO is dick. Isn't that insulting to people that did the year-long crunch? Honestly, in a lot of cases, the people that did the year-long crunch don't even work there anymore. So, like, yeah. Boycotting it might actually be fine. What was the game recently? Red Dead Redemption. That is one of those games that had, I want to say, 2 or 3 year-long crunch. And pretty much, like, they got rid of, like, 1 billion people. Like, I realize you're trying to take some kind of twisted moralistic approach. But, like, yeah, actually, I'm not going to buy a game just because somebody worked hard on it. I'm going to buy a game because it's good, and I'm not going to buy a game if it was built on the backs of effectively slave labor. Like, I would understand it if it's like an indie studio and they're like, we've been busting our asses to make this for years. And yeah, was that unhealthy? Sure, but we made it. This is our product. Like, that I can support, but with, like, Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption was released, and there was... Ow. Red Dead Redemption was released, and there were all sorts of things, like, they straight up would, like, delete you from the potential credits for the game if you quit the studio. I think it's stuck on the Ripper, and the Ripper's stuck on it. And, like, that's not okay. There's a very distinct reason why I didn't play Red Dead Redemption. Because it felt somewhat immoral. And I don't really want to support studios that, like, think it's okay to work their employees for 80, 90, 100 hours. Like, I did that a couple of times working at the goddamn Nickelodeon, like, satellite studio I worked at. Like, I think I worked a 60-hour work week during midterms. And it was miserable, and I hated it. And I didn't even do good work. Like, my art director straight up had to, like, finish a lot of shit for me because I was significantly worse. And, like, I feel like game studios need to learn that, like, super crunch forever is not actually a good solution. And ends up ruining games more often than it actually makes them good. I mean, look at Anthem. That was made on super crunch. Was that a good game? No. Well, to some people, yeah. But, like, that was definitely one of those games that, like, did not... That needed them to take their time and really do it right the first time, as opposed to do it wrong the first 4 times and then give up. Because that's what they're probably going to do. They're actually probably going to just bail on Anthem like they did with Andromeda. and then focus kind of on Dragon Age 4. Fallout 76, apparently. I don't even know what the story is for 76, honestly. But yeah, happy devs make better games, straight up. And so, yeah, if I hear like a bunch of things about toxic workplace, or like just egregious mismanaging of the studio, I generally will actually skip out on covering a game from them, because I would prefer to promote... What's a good example? Well, I mean, Forager. Vic is crafting the copper sword. She still hasn't finished it? Ah! Oh, there's another nest out here. I was wondering about that. Yeah, Wandersong. Crosscode. Let's see. To go back to what I was talking about, Forager. That was made by one college dropout, who more or less was just like, I'm gonna make a game. And they made a fantastic game. And it was really enjoyable. And, like, I've talked to the developer, and he's very humble and very friendly. Yeah, Knights of Tartarus, which I need to go back to, because it came out in 1.0, and I haven't had the chance to sit down and record it. And, like, I think that's why I like the indie market so much. Because, yeah, there are some miserable sobs that work in indie dev. Like, there absolutely are. I mean, Phil Fish, easy example. And, honestly, I think Phil Fish just succumbed to stress a little bit too much. And also let the fame and fortune get to his head. And, I mean, there's definitely a bunch of YouTubers that kind of go the same way. Many of them start fairly humble and fairly holistic. And then, you know, end up soliciting sexual favors from underage girls. I think, I don't know the YouTuber that is going to prison for that, but he was sentenced for 10 years, like, a couple days ago? And I'm sure he started out as, like, a totally fine guy. Yeah, from good YouTubers to douche-tubers. Oh, absolutely. And, like, I'm sure if I got up to hundreds of millions of views per month, like some people, I probably would actually be a little bit more cocksure than I am. I can be cocksure, but I'm usually just kind of rude to people that are rude to me, and that's about it. I really wish those nests would, like, fully just disappear. There's a streamer that slapped his wife on stream. Wow. Is he still a streamer, or has he been thoroughly shut down? Because that's not okay. Like, I will sass the crap out of Shell. But yeah, that's different. He's still an active streamer. Huh. Damn impalers. Not impalers. Oh. It's a suicider. Okay. Man, it'll be nice having that next second tier sword. There's another one? Well, it's good both of them didn't come for me at the same time. That would have been miserable. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I will always try and play games from studios that are kind to their developers. And, like, you know, the management seems like they're legitimately good people. Like, Nintendo. Everybody was always super mad at Nintendo for their mistreatments of Let's Players, but I think that came from a place of just being misguided and dinosaurs. Whereas, like, EA has always struck me as kind of creepy. Capcom for a while actually struck me as creepy, but they've actually been very friendly to me recently. They haven't, like, given me too many games, but they gave me a couple. And, like, I realize giving me games is no sign that they've actually, like, changed their tunes. But I remember, like, originally, Capcom was the studio. I think it was Capcom that had, I think it was Capcom that had straight up, like, shut or DMCA'd several LPs just to make room for advertising on, like, a prequel situation. There we go. So they do take damage from him dropping shit on them. It's just they only take damage from certain ones. Makes sense. Dead Moth. Rebanned on Twitch January 5th. Good. Wow. I should probably not be here. He's probably gonna get up. Nope. Are you done? Wow. That was 2. Ow. Well, balls. Okay. Taking this a little bit more seriously. Let's honestly go back to the tower. Oof. I'm very glad that these flying physics objects do not actually harm me. At all. Only when they land. And in a small AoE. Let's go! Okay, don't screw me over, doggos. Eesh. Okay, there we go.